So for this last part of the semester, we are just going to be doing 5.1. We'll be finishing chapter 5 into the second semester. So 5.1, I'm going to actually divide into two separate videos since we have the time. So 5.1, hopefully you can see my cursor right here. Monomial is like a real number. There's no variable with it. That's what monomial is. When we have a degree of a monomial, so a one variable is the exponent of the variable. That kind of is confusing. Polynomial is basically any function or that you might have a degree of polynomial. We'll get into this right down here. If you want, you can write this down, but actually, or if you printed this out, even better, this right here is going to be important. So here, if I have a degree of 0, that means I just have a number. That using the name of the degree would be called constant. One term, monomial. Okay, that's how many terms you have. There's one number here, so it's monomial. If there's a degree of 1, that's called linear, meaning right here when I look at this x value, this variable, there's no number up here. That would be like if there's a 1 right there. This is binomial because there's two terms. So in between addition and subtraction is how many terms you have. If I have a degree of 2, it's called quadratic, and that's when I have this exponent, my highest degree is a 2. Now in this polynomial, so any type of function or equation, this is also monomial because of the fact that there's no addition or subtraction here. Cubic is a degree of 3. So this is always, your degree is going to be your highest exponent. Again, let me say that again. Your degree will be based off your highest exponent. So this has 1, 2, 3 terms, so that would be called a trinomial. 4, a degree of 4 is called a quartic. So this would be your degree because it's your highest exponent. There are 2 different terms here in between my addition and subtraction. Binomial because there's 2 terms. And then 5 would be quintic. So right here is quintic because my degree is 5. Now when I'm looking at these, you will also have to be able to state what your leading coefficient is. So here's my highest degree. If there's no number in front, there'd be like a 1 here. Here's highest degree. So my leading coefficient is a 4. That's the number in front of your highest degree. Highest degree, highest exponent. Here's a degree of 3, my highest exponent in this function, and my leading coefficient would be 4. So here, degree of 4, my leading coefficient is a 2. Degree of 5, my leading coefficient would be a -1. So when I look at my first problems, we have to write this in standard form and classify it by the degree and number of terms. Now when I say your number of terms, you do have to know monomial, binomial, trinomial. Anything over trinomial, you'll just have to say 4 terms. So for this first one, let's see here. First, you have to write it in standard form. So when you're writing in standard form, you want your highest degree. This is my highest degree, whatever that is first. So I'm going to write that first. So I already wrote that down. If there were for some reason 2 that had x squared, I would have to combine like terms. Then I can write my x and then my number. You have to make sure that you write it from your highest degree, your highest exponent, down to your lowest exponent. So my degree here, I put D. My degree here would be 2, so that's quadratic. And my terms are 3, which is trinomial. So this one, when I'm looking at this, so this is a good example. My highest degree here, I look at my exponents. There's 1x to the 4th, so that goes first. So x to the 4th, I use that. Next, I want to see if I have any x cubes. I don't. But now when I look at my x squared, I have 2x squared, so I have to combine those two like terms. So -6x squared plus 10x squared, so I look at my leading numbers and I add -6 plus 10 would give me a positive 4x squared. I personally like to cross them out saying that I already added them, plus 4x minus 12. So now when I look at this, my degree here is 4, which is quartic. My terms here are 1, 2, 3, 4. So for terms, you could just put 4 polynomial. Next one, at any time you should always pause the video and then you can come back to this to make sure you are checking your work with mine so that you know what you're doing. Here's my highest degree, so I'm going to write my 5x to the fourth first, and then I can have my 3x cubed, and then my x. So my degree here would be 4, because of this 4 right here. Your highest exponent is your degree. So that would be quartic. And my terms here are 1, 2, 3. So it'd be trinomial forever. I wonder if anyone knows what I'm saying when I say that. Forever. So right here, this is tricky. Here's my highest degree because it has 5 right here. Now this subtraction goes with the term. Sometimes I have people do this so that they remember that that subtraction goes with the term. My leading coefficient, my leading one degree is going to be x to the fifth, but it's going to be negative 4 because that subtraction has to stick with. I don't have x to the fourth. I don't have x to the third. I have an x squared. And I also have 2 numbers. So I can add those two together to get 13. So my degree here would be 5 quintic. I don't know if I spelled that right. And then my terms here would be 1, 2, 3, trinomial. That's the first part of 5.1. When I look at my second part of 5.1, we have turning points. But really, we're going to be talking about the end behavior. It's very important for the end behavior. So when we're talking about end behavior, it's like, where is it going, the polynomial? In this case, it's going all the way up forever negatively. When x is negative, it's going up. And then when it's going positive, when x is positive, it's also going up. So if you basically the end behavior is saying, where is the arrow pointing? So either it could be up, up, down, 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 up, or up, down. So these are different ways that we can solve that. Actually, I would rather have you write down what I have. This is what we look at. First, before we even do this, we have to make sure that we're in standard form. That first step that we just did, you have to make sure you're in standard form. So this is the chart that we would use. So you would want to write this down right here so you have a good reference back. We're going to do this first one. So I'm looking at this first one. Here's my degree is 3. My leading coefficient is 4. So if you want to write this down, you can. So I'm going to write 4. So when I'm looking at this, my degree is odd, so it's going to be one of these two. And my leading coefficient is positive. So it's odd, positive. So where they connect would be down, up. So my end behavior is down, up. So if I were to sketch a graph, it would look something like that. But there would probably be a more loop-de-loop in there, but down, up, that's where the arrows are going. This next one, you should try to do it by yourself. But here's my degree. This is the highest term, highest degree. So my degree here is 4. My leading coefficient is negative 2. You have to be aware of that negative in front. So degree here is even. It's going to be one of these two. My leading coefficient is negative. Even, negative is down, down. So if I were to sketch the graph, it would look something like that, down, down. Now, one thing is when you know it's even or odd, even means that they should point in the same direction. Typically, odd means they're in opposite directions. Even, same direction. Odd, opposite directions. So this last one, a lot of times in class or if live from Google Meet, you'll see me do this with my arms. But my degree here, here's my leading coefficient. So leading coefficient means your highest degree term. So my degree here is 3. My leading coefficient is negative 4. So if my degree here is odd, usually it's going to go like this. But because this is negative, it flips both arrows. So typically it's like this, but it flips both arrows. So now it's going to be up, down. And if you look at your chart, odd, negative, it flips those arrows to up, down. And that is all I have for you today. Make sure to have a wonderful day and a wonderful time of your life.